Good morning, my beloved YouTube audience. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make the delicious Vietnamese coffee. Before I go through all the ingredients, I want to welcome you to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe and also remember to put the notification on because I do live streaming. So when you put the bell sign on, you will get a notification when the minute I jump on live. So it's good if you want to join me for chat here on my live streaming. So Vietnamese coffee, egg coffee. Actually, before I went to Vietnam last year, I did make a study about what to eat in Vietnam. So the top 5 things that you should try in Vietnam is actually egg coffee. I'm not a big fan of black coffee, but I really want to try this because I heard so many things about um, this coffee. And I remember we were in Hanoi and we were asking the people who work in the hotel to give us the recommendation. So they said the best place is this really authentic one. So I remember we went to find this place. It's actually just 5 minutes walk from the hotel. This place is really old. I remember we walked through this small lane. It's not very difficult to find, but in Vietnam, the road sign is quite small. You really have to keep your eyes open when you are looking for places. But the best place to find your way around is by using Google Maps or GPS. So we tried the Google Maps and within 10 minutes we found a place, but then you have to walk through this small lane and then it gets you up to this small little tiny cozy coffee house. I wish I can show you the video, but I don't know if I still have that yet. But anyway, this place was awesome. And you know, in Vietnam, they have all these small tables and small chair, and because these people in the olden time, they are really small built and they are very short. So that's why they sit in these small tables and chair. It was really cozy. It was not at all expensive. I think we paid like $1 or so for that egg coffee. But that coffee is like not for tourists, it's for the local people. And that is where you want to try the real stuff. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. I have tasted that, in fact, twice. One time. Was it one time or twice, I think? Yeah, anyway, the way to drink it is they pour them into this tiny glass. Not like this. It's more like a teacup with a handle because it's hot, right? So it would be good if you find a glass or a cup that has the handle. But because I want to show you how it looks like from the inside, so that's why I'm using this glass. I don't have the one with the handle though. It would be nice if you have one. So instead of using the condensed milk, I'm using a condensed milk, but it's a caramelized one. So this is how it looks like. I would love to try this. The traditional authentic one call for the white condensed milk, but this time I'm trying this, the darker caramelized condensed milk. You can easily buy this at the supermarket. They are easily available. If you don't have, you can actually make this yourself. Just boil the condensed milk with a water bath. I think it was like 1 hour or so, and then you open up the can and it becomes like this. So very yummy. I find that the taste of this condensed milk is much nicer than the white one. So we're going to try and use this. So what they actually have is a layer of condensed milk underneath. So you can actually put a layer if you are not a big fan of strong hot coffee. So I suggest you do like this. So I'm going to just do for myself one layer. So I have about a teaspoon underneath. And then I'm going to make this coffee. So you don't need to have this Vietnamese coffee maker. This is what you can find when you are visiting Vietnam. They have this all over the place. I think they are big, serious coffee drinker. So it comes with a filter, and then with like a cup, and then it has this another filter to press the coffee. So what you do is that you put your coffee in, you press them tightly, also make sure that it's very compressed, and then you pour a little bit of coffee, and then you wait for the coffee to swell. So after that, you pour more coffee to let the coffee filter through this filter. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. This is the first time I ever do it at home, so it's exciting to try something new. So I hope you try it too. If you don't have this, it's fine. You can still use a normal coffee. If you have a strong coffee, this requires a strong coffee. So of course, egg coffee, you have to have egg, right? So I'm going to crack 2 eggs. I'm doing 2 eggs because I want to make 2 cups actually, but I do not know how big the egg yolk is. So let's see if it's enough to make 2 cups. It's me alone at home today, so LG is working. So this thing can always be kept. So I'm going to put the egg yolk here. Oh, the egg yolk is not very big, yeah. So I think it should be enough for 1 cup. So you can keep this egg white for later if you want to cook something else. Just gonna wipe this. And then with this egg yolk, you need to have the condensed milk. So I'm going to add about, by the way, I got this recipe from a friend, Facebook, or rather YouTube friends of mine. His name is Steve. Steve's Kitchen. You go and check him out. He has very good recipes, and he too do live streaming like me. So what you want to do is you whisk this egg yolk and the caramelized milk, condensed milk. So I'm gonna try, see if I can whisk it. Yeah. A bit slow, I don't know why. Or maybe the egg is a bit too... It would be good to use a whisper, but let's see. Let's see what happens, yeah? So of course, if you are going to make like more than a portion, use a bigger one with... yeah, I was saying about this tiny coffee house, right, we went to. I thought that was really cool. And there's actually 3 men working there. One of the men is quite elderly. He just sit there and collect money because people keep coming in, and he was too busy collecting money all the time. And then there is another guy making the coffee, and there's another one serving the coffee and clearing up table. So it was a really nice environment. I really like that place, and they know how to like do business. They make the place like really typical Siamese style kind of cafe, their own authentic style, which I thought was really cool. So I think this is almost done. Let me just see if this is working. Yeah, it is working. It's just that the egg is a bit too, how do you call it? A bit too heavy for the whisk. So it still works. So you have to whisk it. It's very heavy, and I have no doubt you can actually use cream too, if you want it to be slightly, oh look, if you want it to be slightly fatter, but egg yolk itself is already quite fattening. And then I'm going to see if I can do like this. It's easier. Okay. I'm not so sure if I like the consistency. I prefer it to be like thicker. And I have no idea whether it will go any thicker than this. I doubt so, because this is not the cream. Okay. Anyway, before I continue, I'm going to continue to whip this later, but let's prepare the coffee first. Put it this way. Stay there. So to prepare the coffee, and I forgot the most important part is the coffee, right? So let me get hold of my Vietnamese coffee. Let's see if I have any more Vietnamese coffee. Oh yeah, my Vietnamese coffee is over here. How can I forget? That's the main start, isn't it? Okay, this is some Vietnamese coffee I bought when we were in Vietnam. So remove this filter. So you want to put about 3 heaps of coffee powder. I think 3 heaps can be very, very strong. I don't know, depending on how much you can handle this, but I think I'll put 2.5. The heaps is kind of strong. This spoon is kind of big. Just close this. And then you want to put them on top of the cup like this, and then you put this on top, and then you press them. Just give this a little press like this, so it's more compact. And then you want to put just a little bit of hot water, very hot water, until it covers the top, because you just want the coffee powder to swell up. So just leave it at this now. You can always continue to boil the rest of the coffee. Just let them swell up. So I'm going to cover this. And I'm going to continue to whisk this egg. It's actually a lot. I just replaced the battery, so it should do the job. Let's see. Things better like this. Tilt the cups a little bit, and then just come up to the surface a little bit so you get more air. just have a taste. I think this is definitely nicer than the ordinary condensed milk. It has a little bit like a burnt sugar with an egg in it. So you have to have a patience. If you have no patience, it won't be good coffee, yeah? So, okay, I think it's done. So now let's take a look at the coffee. So the coffee already started to swell, so you can pour more coffee. So don't pour up to, you see this thing up here, don't pour over here because you know it will be too much. So I'm going to pour about this much when it reaches the almost the tip of it, yeah, like this. And of course this you have to use common sense. If the coffee is too much water, of course it's lighter, right? So depending on how strong you want your coffee. So it's still not moving and I have no idea why. Yeah, it's coming down, you see, it's dripping. Let me just put the cup higher so you can see. Yeah, you see it's dripping and it's very, very hot. So you really have to have some patience. And I can see the layering from the condensed milk. So let's see how this goes. All right, let me just see if I can try and whisk this a bit more. So my trip to Vietnam is really pleasant. I would 100% recommend anyone to go there. In fact, my daughter is going there in February, and she wanted to go to Thailand, but I told her Vietnam is a better choice because I've been to Thailand. I'm not so impressed with the service, and you know it's kind of messy there nowadays. A lot of people trying to make a living and people are poor, of course, also in Vietnam. But then, you know, if you are alone, you can never be afraid to be lost or robbed. I don't think so you can get robbed there. Yeah, you can get robbed there. But then I think the chances is very little because they have a lot of civilian policemen. Let me just give you an example. Me and LG, we were there, right? And we were looking for, I think it was a shop that we were looking for. And we stopped by at the side of the road. You know, in Vietnam, the street is very narrow and the pavement is very, very extremely narrow. Some places, they don't even have pavement. You really have to walk very carefully. So we were lost. So we stopped by and asked a guy who have a motorcycle at the side of the road. So we asked him for direction and he told us, he pointing this direction, and then another guy come and then they point the same direction. And then when we thanked them for showing us the direction, and then we start to walk away from them. And then there's two men come to us and ask us, what did we do? So I said, yeah, we were just asking for direction. Okay, so they said they are civilian police and they are aware of tourists. Whenever there are tourists around, they keep an eye on them. Maybe because they just want to make sure that we are safe. So I thought that was a very nice gesture. And from our trip there, even though it was just 6 days, We felt very safe all the time. We have people picking us up and contacting us and giving us suggestion what we should do being a tour, visiting Vietnam. So I thought that is awesome. So let me just open the lid and see. Oh, the water is still dripping. So for me, I'm not a really big fan of strong coffee. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. So this one really does take time, yeah. So we are making coffee, Vietnamese coffee. You see, they are even tight, very tight. Oh, let's see. Huh. Okay. So as you can see, the water is very slow. I wonder if that makes it better if I just moved the filter a little bit. And just, yeah, it helps a little bit when I just lift it up and press it again. Siri! Go down! The crazy cat is here. So, very slow, it's like dripping. And I'm kind of impatient. Okay, let me just share with you some stories. If you are thinking about visiting Vietnam. So we booked a 6 days package that is to the Ha Long Bay and also where is that place? Sabah, if I'm not wrong. Sabah, if I'm not wrong. Is on top of the mountain. At Ha Long Bay, we stay in a junk boat overnight. So for me, I think also the same with LG. We experienced the same thing. The whole journey was very pleasant. We felt really safe. We felt that the service is like, if there's 1 to 10, 10 is excellent. I would give them 11 because they are so good. You can't believe that, you know, they are very informative. They give you all kinds of security, making sure that your trip is an enjoyable one. And I remember we have a trip to Sabah and we have to take a train. So what they did is they help us with the bag. I remember we have 2 big bags. So they actually pick us up from the hotel and then they send us to this train station, and the lady who contacted us, who picked us from the hotel, follow us in the taxi and send us all the way in to the train station. And from that train station, there is another guy who take over and carry our bag. And they walk with our bag up right to the cabin. I can't believe it, in the cabin where we slept. So I was really, LG was saying, no, we can carry, no, it's no problem. And the guy said, no, don't worry, it's inclusive, all inclusive, it's inclusive of carrying bags and giving you guys a good service. So we were like, wow, okay. So the best part is when we arrived at Sabah, the train door opened, right? So directly when the train door opened, there's another guy from Sabah took a paper, and then he wrote our name, LG and SD Wang, and stand right in front of the door when the train opened, and they know exactly which cabin we were sleeping in. Isn't that amazing? And again, they took our bag and then they put us in the taxi, and they take another taxi and follow us all the way to the hotel. Where got service? In Sweden, you can never get this kind of service. Not even in Singapore. Singapore, we have this service like, you know, the transfer, but not to that extreme whereby they follow you right up to your cabin. So this, I think, is like, to me, I'm really impressed. And also, when we were in this Ha Long Bay on the junk boat, the experience was also very good. We had this, oh my goodness, the coffee came up. And then now I'm going to press it down a little bit. I don't know if I'm doing the right way. But I think the coffee should be here, right? It cannot be here because this is a filter. And I don't know why the coffee came up here. Okay, never mind. So as you can see, let me just bring up the cup so you can see how it looks like. It's quite a lot of coffee. So you really have to be really patient when you do this Vietnamese coffee. And I think the fastest way is to make using the coffee machine. Yeah, make any kind of coffee machine with a Vietnamese coffee, of course. So Vietnamese coffee is a bit different from the normal Swedish coffee. I find that the Vietnamese coffee is a bit special. It tastes a little bit of vanilla. I don't know if they add any vanilla in this, but it tastes a little bit vanilla, a little bit sweeter than the Swedish coffee. Swedish coffee is a bit, not bitter, but a bit nutty, and I don't call the word strong. It's depending on how, well, when we say strong, it means start in Swedish. So it all depends on how you yourself, how you like your coffee, if you like it to be stronger or mild. So in this case, I think this coffee is done. I'm just not so pleased with, okay, I'm not so pleased with the speed. I'm so pleased with the speed. Hello, quickly. I'm craving for coffee. Can you please hurry up? Okay, so it means that I have to whisk the egg yolk. But okay, you have to have a patience to drink this. So if you just want to try it, I think it's worth trying it. But don't use this this thing is hopeless, I find. I think any kind of filter, you can buy the cheap one with just a funnel, and then you can actually put the filter in the funnel, and then you pour your coffee in. I think that way is better too, and it's much faster, even though the funnel hole is smaller. Okay, enough of waiting. I think it's enough. Enough. Okay. So let me just try to remove this. I still have some coffee in here, but I think I have enough of waiting. So I'm going to transfer this over here. And then I'm going to spoon my egg. Obviously, this is not a lot of coffee. No, it's not. And I felt like I want to put them in even a smaller cup. Let me just see if I can find a small cup. Yeah. I think I'm going to transfer the coffee so I can take a picture. So I have this condensed. It's not necessary if you don't like condensed milk. So just for nice purpose, I'm just going to put this one in the cup. Like this. Yeah, and then I'm going to pour my coffee slowly into this Okay. And then coffee is so hot. And then I'm going to just use my spoon to scoop the egg on top. Or you can do like this. Yeah, you can pour them on a spoon and then at the side of the glass. And then I'm going to use my paper towel to wipe. And then I'm going to add some cocoa powder. If you like, you can actually add vanilla essence also if you like the flavors of the egg to be a bit vanilla. So let's see. Take a look. I thought this way was better. Can you guys see? Oh, let me see. I can try to make the rotation. Let me see. Because it's kind of difficult to see if you are this angle, right? So that is my Vietnamese coffee. So I'm going to take a picture of that and I'm going to post it on Instagram. And I cannot drink it in front of you because first of all, I want to take a picture first. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. You have to try it. All you need is egg and strong coffee, not necessarily Vietnamese coffee, and you have a condensed milk. That's all you need, and a lot of patience. Yeah. So cheers, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Today we are making dinner. I will be making entrecote. So I hope I can do a live stream later on. Not so sure exactly what kind of entrecote recipes that I will be making. So I just hope that it will be delicious. And if I have the opportunity, I'll try and do a live stream on that too. So cheers. See you. Bye. Bye bye, guys.